excess water out to make the urine more concentrated. So don't waste a lot of water getting rid of our waste products. We can't afford to lose the water. Okay? All right, this tube here that's collecting urine from the distal convolular tubules here in the cortex is called the collecting duct. And it runs from the cortex down into the medulla, as you see here. Other collecting ducts join with it, and we form then the papillary duct. And that drains through the renal papilla into a minor calyx. That's where the urine collects. And then into a major calyx, then into the renal pelvis, then to the ureter, and on way to the en route to the urinary bladder. Okay? And again, those short loop of Henle, these are cortical nephrons. One's a long loop of Henle, juxtamedullary nephrons. And again, what's the function of loop of Henle?
Concentrate
the urine. Concentrate the urine. We'll go through that in a little more detail in lecture, and especially this one. Okay? Something else we have then is the juxtaglomerular apparatus, which we see here. This is what's responsible for regulation of blood pressure. We have specialized cells here in the wall of the afferent and efferent arteriole, and these are basically pressure receptors. They're called juxtaglomerular cells, JG cells. And they're sensing blood pressure in these capillaries, okay? The other part of the juxtaglomerular apparatus are these specialized cells here in the wall of the distal convolular tubule. That's called the macula densa. And notice these cells are taller than the rest of them. It's actually a simple columnar epithelium instead of simple cuboidal. So the macula densa and the juxtaglomerular cells make up the juxtaglomerular apparatus, which regulates your blood pressure. These are pressure receptors. These cells basically sense flow of the renal filtrate and what's in the renal filtrate, concentration of solute. Okay, and we'll talk about that more in lecture. That's what regulates your blood pressure. Okay? I think I pretty much covered on this, except for the blood vessels. Should I trace through the blood vessels?
Yes, please.
Yeah? All right. All right, this is your renal artery. That's actually bringing blood in from the abdominal aorta. And this is highly oxygenated blood, also blood that's high in waste products, because the kidneys are going to filter most of them out. It branches into these arteries, which are called segmental arteries. Coming off that is a short branch right here. This is called the lobar artery. And then coming off that are the segmental arteries, which you see running here. Okay? No, excuse me. Segmental, lobar, and then interlobar. These are interlobar arteries. You can see it right here too. Okay? That branches into an arc-shaped artery, which runs between the medulla and the cortex, and this is called the arcuate artery, the red vessel here. Coming off that is the interlobular artery, or cortico-radiate artery, which I wrote on the board. Both call it cortico-radiate, to an easier term, interlobular or cortico-radiate. And again, to me, it looks sort of like the trunk of a tree. You can see here. Coming off that, like the branches of a tree, are the afferent arterioles. And that's what supplies blood to the glomerular capillaries inside the renal corpuscle. Draining blood from those capillaries, glomerular capillaries, is another arteriole, and that's the one that comes out here on the other side, okay? And these are called the efferent arterioles. They supply blood to these capillaries here in the cortex, which surround the renal tubule of the cortex, and these are called peritubular capillaries. And these same vessels, efferent arterioles, some of them also supply capillary bed in the medulla, and this is called vasa recta. And then they drain into this vessel, okay, and this is the cortico-radiate or interlobular vein, to the arcuate vein, to the interlobar vein, this blue vessel right along here. You can see them here as well. And from here, they go directly into the renal vein. There is no lobar vein, there is no segmental vein. Otherwise, they parallel the arteries. Okay? All right, let me just do one more thing.